Next is definition of big data. So what is big data? So the word big data is actually gives you some hints that it means data that is very or extremely large in size. Okay, it is huge, overwhelming. Okay, where we can't control the amounts of information. Okay, because it's so large, so it's beyond our control. Okay, so big data is also a field. Okay, a field that deals with data sets. So data sets means it has many groups of data that are too large or complex to be dealt with traditional data processing application software. So big data requires a specialized software, okay, in order to systematically extract information, and also to computationally analyze data to reveal patterns, trends, and association. Okay, so that is why the main objective of this course is actually for students to be able to produce visualization of data, because from the visualization, okay, we can see patterns, okay, we can see trends, and we can see association of data. Okay, so in this figure here, okay, it's showing you, okay, the nature of data, okay, from the year 2000 until now. Okay, in the year 2000, okay, that was the beginning era of the internet. So during this time, okay, the information is actually easily accessible if you have internet access. For example, if before having the internet technology, if you want to find information, you have to go to library. Okay, you have to go to library, you have to read from books, okay, books, newspaper, magazine. Okay, so the information is not easily accessible. Okay, so from there, okay, 10 years later, we have mobile technology. Okay, meaning that we have, instead of having just desktop application, we have mobile application where we can access information from our handphones, from our tablet devices, where meaning that information is accessible anywhere and at any time throughout the year, throughout the day, okay, from 24/7 until 365 day per year. Okay, we can freely access information from any resources that we want. Okay, there is no boundary. The information are also borderless. Okay, and then in the year 2015, okay, 5 years later, we have social media. Okay, when with the social media, for example, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all other applications. So it enable us to share information, okay, to upload information in a split seconds. And that's why we come across the issue of privacy, okay, issue of where information has been viral, sometimes for not a good purpose but for bad purposes. Okay, so there are challenges. Okay, but then the informations are everywhere. Okay, and then from the year 2000 and beyond, okay, so we have more technologies such as drones, where drones helps us to for example, capture information, capture images, videos. Okay, if you want to do research, okay, under the water or up in the sky, so the drones actually helps us to collect data. Okay, and then also with the internet of technology, or IoT, okay, IoT also enable us to easily get information, okay, where it helps us being efficient. Okay, and then we have virtual reality, we have games, and so on. So these are the nature of how, okay, data has actually evolved from before the internet, okay, until now. Okay, we have the latest technology, okay, in information of internet of things. And you have to also keep, I mean, be make sure you uh, read a lot, okay, to see, okay, the evolution of the latest technology. So this is how, okay, we come across big data, okay, due to this nature, right? Okay, next, we're going to see what are the types of big data. Okay, so in this lecture, I'm going to explain three types of big data. The first one is social data. So what is social data? So social data comes from social media. Okay, the word socials mean social media. So for example, all the likes, tweets, retweets, okay, comments, video that you upload on your social media, and also in general media, okay, which are shared, okay, across social media platform, leads to the um, increase of big data. So this type of data actually provide invaluable insights, okay, into customer behavior and sentiment, okay, and can be enormously influential in marketing analytics. So for example, the public web is another good source of social data, and tools like Google Trends, okay, can also be used to good effect to increase the volume of big data. So basically, social data is the main contribution towards big data, because the information in social media is the information of type that we call as unstructured, meaning that we don't have any specific format. Okay, so and it makes it harder for us to analyze the data. Okay, if the data is being stored in a database, for example, so the data has been chunked into the type of variable or type of the data. But if it's in social media, so the type is very unstructured, and it is very challenging, okay, to process the data. That's why later on, in the methodology of data preparation, you will learn some of the techniques, okay, that can be applied in order for us to analyze, okay, this kind of social data, okay, where it comes from unstructured type of data. Next, we have machine data. So machine data is basically any information that is generated by industrial equipment, okay, sensors that are installed in machinery, or even web logs which attract user behavior. So basically, machine data is actually a repetition data that is actually repeating from time to time, where we have to keep that information, okay. This type of data is expected to grow exponentially. We cannot predict, okay. I mean, it will increase from time to time, because as the internet of things grows ever more pervasive and expands around the world. And then, for example, what type of data? These are the data that is being produced by sensors, okay, sensors of medical devices. For example, in hospital, if you are a patient at hospital, the nurses will come to check on you. She will record your temperature, your blood pressure, okay, for at least probably 4 times per day. So those data are we call as machine data, okay. We have to keep that information, we have to keep that data, because in order for the doctors to make decision on your wellness, on your condition, they have to see the trends, okay, the trends of the data, okay. So from there they can make decision. So sensors such as medical devices, smart meters, road cameras, satellites, games, and the rapidly growing of Internet of Things will deliver high velocity, high volume, high value, and also it comes in a variety of data in the very near future. Okay, so machine data is also a type of big data, because we always have to keep, okay, that information. And then the third one is transactional data. Okay, this kind of data is generated from all the daily transaction, okay, that take place both online and offline, okay, such as invoices, payment orders, storage records, and delivery receipts. Okay, so this type of data are characterized as transactional data, yet data alone is almost meaningless, meaning that we have to keep that information, because there is as a reference for our business transaction, and organizations actually struggling to make sense of the data that they are generating, and how it can be put to good use. Meaning that if you go to any shopping mall, okay, when you want to pay for your stuff, for your things that you buy, okay, the system will actually record, okay, how much that you have to pay. But actually in the same time, they are recording the amount of quantity being taken away from the store, so that they can know the quantity level of their inventory level. Okay, and also they will know what if they want to make okay to find the finding, okay, what is the most popular type of for example food that customer always bought. Okay, from this data, it helps them to produce patterns, and they can visualize, okay, on a graph or any charts. Okay, so transactional data is also, okay, is the most important data in the world, because if you go to the banks will is also one type of organization that produce transactional data, because these transactional data are very important. Okay, are very important for us, because you want to know, okay, the money going in and out from your account, and so on. Okay, so these are the three types of transactional data. Okay, and then what are the characteristics of big data? Okay, we can classify into 6 V's. Okay, volume, variety, velocity, veracity, value, and variability. Okay, so volume means the amount of data from myriad sources. Okay, so find out what is the myriad means. Okay, variety means the type of data. It can be structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay, so you can, as I mentioned just now, the social data is type of, it falls under unstructured data. Okay, and then we have velocity, means the speed of at which big data is being generated. Okay, of course, for example, talking about transactional data, the speed is very fast, kan? Because everyday transaction will happen. You go to any organization, there will be transaction. Okay, okay, and then the veracity means the degree to which big data can be trusted. How can you trust big data? And then the value, how can the business value of the data, okay, the business value, okay, the business value of the data collected, meaning that how can they make useful, make the data useful for them, how they can appreciate the data, okay, from the transactional data. Okay, how can they understand, okay, the situation or the performance of an organization. And then variability, meaning that the ways in which the big data can be used and formatted. Okay, so big data is a collection of data from various sources, often characterized by what is become as the 3 V's: volume, variety, and velocity. But over the time, it has been added to the description of another 3 types of or another 3 characteristic of big data. Okay, so please, okay, make sure you understand all these 6 characteristics. Okay, so these are just example for you to go through. Okay, examples of how to explain, okay, social networking sites, okay, e-commerce site, weather station, share market. These are all the application of big data types. Okay, and then the last part, okay, from the overview of data is the definition of data science. So data science is a deep study of the massive amount of data, which involves extracting meaningful insights from raw, structured, and unstructured data that is processed using scientific method, okay, different technologies and algorithm. So basically, it is a multidisciplinary field that uses tools and techniques to manipulate the data. Okay, so it uses a powerful hardware programming system and the most efficient algorithm to solve the data-related problems. So that is the future of artificial intelligence. Okay, so data science actually comprise of statistics, domain expertise, data engineering, advanced computing, and visualization. Okay, so this is for you not to confuse. Okay, what is the difference between big data and data science? So data science is just a study, okay, of how we can visualize data to get a better perspective. Okay, but it is actually a part of artificial intelligence.